everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my project 10 uses update. So last month I did split this in half. Usually I do this right before I do a shop my stash video, but I did split them into two videos and I think it worked out fine last month. So I'm going to do the same thing this month where I'm just going to film my little project 10 uses. Did I use the item 10 times? And if I did, then I can roll it out. If I didn't, then I will keep it in. There are a few caveats to that rule that I have. Obviously, if you're not familiar, all of these items are rolled in through my shop my stash. So I do shop my stash every single month, and then I want to use those items 10 times. However, with eyeshadow palettes, I want to use them at least 5 times, not 10 times, because I did realize last year that it was just a little bit too much because I really wanted to just use this project to work through my eyeshadow palettes and, you know, carry on using them and not neglect the ones that are just sitting there for months on end and I'm not touching them. So I changed that to 5 uses for eyeshadow palettes. However, I do a no pan left behind, so I want to use every single shade at least once before I can roll it out. And I also decided last time, if an item is in this project for more than 2 months, I will decide if I want to roll it out or not. I'm not going to carry on working on an item to use just 10 times. And if I can't do that within 2 months, then there's something wrong, and then I might consider decluttering that item, or it's just the wrong time of year to use that item. So this month I've been working on 3 eyeshadow palettes because one of them was very, very big, and then the other 2 are pretty small. So I didn't want to overload myself. Usually I have maybe up to 5 eyeshadow palettes that I roll into my shop my stash at times. But because I rolled in such a large palette last time, I kept it to 3 this month. And yeah, I haven't been able to reach my goals this month yet, but I'm very, very close with the small ones. So let me start with the eyeshadow palettes because there's just 3 of them, and then I will go into all of the products that I am rolling out that I did hit 10 uses or more, and then all the items that are staying in. Alright, so we'll start with this eyeshadow palette. This is from Juvia's Place. It is the Blushed Rose palette. I've used this 3 times, including today. I have not used every single shade yet. I think this is the only shade that I have not used. So I want to use the palette at least 2 more times and obviously use this shade. To be fair, I actually have enjoyed this palette when I have used it. I'm just not into pinks all that much. I have to be a certain mood, or it has to be a certain, I don't know, event, or it's just not something that I gravitate all the time. I do like pinks with peachy, like peachy pinks, and maybe leaning into more berries. But when it comes to like actual pink colors, they're not my favorite to put on my lids. So this is more of an acquired taste for me. That's probably why I haven't reached for it. But I have reached for these 2 shimmers quite a bit. Actually, I put up on the screen what it looked like last time. I think there is a little bit of change just with those because I have been going in quite hard with them, but the mattes look the same. And yeah, I have enjoyed this. I actually do like it more than I thought I would. Next up, we've got the Neon from Primark. This one I've actually enjoyed as well. I've used this 4 times, so just do 1 more time. So these 2 will be pretty easy for me to just you know, do the use in the next couple of weeks, and then I can focus on any new palettes that I do roll in, and also my really large palette that I have, which has a lot of shades. And because I'm doing no pan left behind, I think that's why it just takes me a little bit longer. But yeah, this one 4 times is 1 more time. I don't know if it really looks that different, to be fair. Now, I really like the colors in this palette, but the wear time of these mattes in particular are pretty poor. Like, I have this one on my lid today and it's already sort of wearing off, and I literally just did my makeup about 20 minutes ago. And I also have this one, and it was just so powdery. Like, the color is really pretty, but the quality of this is really poor. So that's unfortunately what you get with Primark shades most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And the shimmers are actually quite nice. But yeah, you know, I wanted to use this palette, get a feel for it. I think this is the perfect time of year to work on it, so that's why I'm doing that. And yeah, just 1 more use, and I think a few shades there that I still haven't yet to touch. So next up, we've got the Earthly, and you can see why. I've been slow rolling because I've been dipping into this. I feel like quite a bit, but I've only marked down that I've used it 4 times. So I don't know, it's got 42 shades in here though, so it is quite a lot for me to get through as a no pan left behind. And yeah, I have to put up on the screen. I'm not going to go through all the ones that I have touched. You can see obviously some disturbance in the shimmers. There's a few mattes obviously that I've used as well. I have really enjoyed green looks this month, and I have been trying to pair this with my Project Level Up palette, which is all mustard. It's the Honey, and I think it works really nicely with some of these more grungy green tones. But I can't do that every single day because it just drives me nuts, because I do like to do a different look every once in a while, or, you know, not the same look every day. But yeah, I like this palette. I really do. Obviously, I love Beauty Bay. I love the quality. This is definitely going to stay for another month, maybe two, but I don't mind because I'm getting to know the palette, which is kind of what I want from this project. All right, let's talk about all of the products that I am rolling out. So I've been working on my NARS face palette. This is the Rising Star. It's a blush palette. This one I had in last month, and I just need to use it 4 more times to hit my 10 uses. I have used it 4 more times, and I've really enjoyed this quad over here. However, the other day I did dip into these, and they're very pretty. They're just not my favorite color when it comes to cheek color on me. I much prefer lighter, more natural colors on my cheek. I just think it suits me. Sometimes I kind of end up looking like a clown when I use those. I just don't know how to place them, maybe. I probably need help with that, but otherwise I really do like this palette. Had it been a quad, I think for me personally it would have been a little bit better just in terms of preference. And I know they came out with another new palette which looks very beautiful, but because I have these I just don't need it. And yeah, these are very subtle. They're very, very like easy to use because you can build them up. They do look quite vibrant in the pan, but it's not scary at all using them, so that was also nice. Okay, next up I've got a MAC blush here. This is the Go Play, and it is the So Natural shade. This was in last month as well, and I needed to use it 5 more times, which I have. I can open it, and this is what it's looking like. I feel like there's a good dent in it now. From what I've seen from other people, these don't seem that hard to hit pan on, but they do take a bit to actually finish as a cream item. I would expect that, but I really love this. This is such a beautiful, natural, leaning on neutral peachy shade, and that's kind of my favorite blush shade at the moment. So really have just enjoyed using that, but I had so many other blushes to use this month, I didn't go overboard. I only used it the 5 more times this month. Then we've got my Rimmel London face powder here. This one I actually have rolled into my project pan now, so I am going to carry on working on this, but this one in this project I've actually used how many times? 17 times this month. So quite a bit. I do think it's changed, even just from when I last filmed my project pan. I think it's expanded even more. So yeah, hopefully this will be an empty sometime this year because I do want to finish it, but it's obviously rolling out of this project. Next I've got the Night Bloom from Colourpop. This is really pretty. This one I had used 5 times last month, and I need to use it another 5 times. There is no difference in this. I don't use that much of it because it is a little bit of a different color, and so I do pair it with some other cheek products when it looks a little bit too icy, because it is quite cool tone, but I think for this time of year it's actually quite pretty. Even though, you know, it's cool tone, is probably more of a winter shade. I do think it works in the springtime as well, but obviously I'm rolling it out because I have hit my 10 uses. Next up we've got the Soul Body from Colourpop. This is the face and body bronzing balm. I was really worried about the shade of this when I picked it up. It says it's light, and it is light, but I just thought it was going to be a little bit too warm tone, but actually it blends like a dream and is really, really nice, and I know why people talk about it so much. So I have used this month along with some other bronzers. This one I've used 10 times exactly, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Actually going to be sad to say goodbye to this, but I have other cream bronzers that I really need to work on that are older. So, but it's really nice that I have this in my collection. I finally tried it, and I'm so happy that I did because I was humming and ahhing about this for so long, and I finally bought it when I did my last Colourpop haul, and very happy that I did. Okay, next up we've got Kiko Milano. This is a highlighter. It's the Light of Venus. This one I have also hit 10 uses. I needed to use it 4 more times. I used it 5 times this month because I did have it in last month, so I've used it a total of 11 times. It's probably one of my favorite highlights that I have in my collection. It's just so beautiful. It does definitely remind me of the MAC Whisper of Guilt shade. It's a little bit more champagne-y than that, but I do think it is very, very beautiful. I don't know if you can see that, but I just think it's definitely one of my favorite highlighters that I have. So when I use it, I kind of feel like it's precious, even though it's not an expensive product. And when it arrived, it was all smashed inside. So mine doesn't look beautiful like most Kiko Milano products do, but I don't mind. I really love this product. All right, I've got 3 lip products that I'm rolling out. One of these I'm actually going to declutter. So this was an Ofra lip gloss in the shade Myth. And I rolled it in because I hadn't tried it. This one I had in last month, and I only used it 3 times last month. This month I have not used it once because I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks, and I don't like the way it smells. It just seems off to me, not in a gross way. It doesn't smell bad. It just smells a bit stale. Like, it doesn't smell of anything very pleasant, if that makes sense. Like, it smells like a little bit like cardboard or like plastic. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't like it. I don't like how icy it is. It doesn't look good on the lips. I also don't like the texture of it. So this one I am going to be decluttering because I haven't used it at all this month, and I just haven't wanted to. I didn't want to force myself, and I do not want to keep it in my collection because I know I don't like it. These other 2 though, I do like. This Laura Geller I've talked about a few times. This is in the shade Brilliant, and I really like it. I actually said it in my my lipstick collection video. This one has a really good wear power. It just stays on the lips for a good long time, even after drinking and eating food. So I really like this. I had it in the project last month. I need to use it 3 more times. No, I used it, what am I looking at? Sorry, I used it 4 times last month, and I've used it 6 times this month. I was looking at the wrong one when I said that. This one is a Nabla lipstick. It is the shade Time Flies. So this is the one that I used 3 times last month, and I have used it only 5 times this month. However, I am going to be rolling it out, and I'm going to be putting it back in my collection. I haven't used it 7 times because it's a little bit vampy, and now we're heading into spring, and I don't think I'm going to get much use out of this in the next month or 2. It's just not the type of shade that I'm going to want to wear. So it's really just me running out of time, and you know, I'm kind of doing a little bit of I'm going against my rules. Oh my gosh, there's not much left in here. I'm going against my rules a little bit, but I really like this product, and there's no point me keeping it just to keep around for, you know, what is it, 2 more uses? I'm not going to do that. So this one's just going back in my collection. I think that's the only one that I'm doing that with. Then I've got my e.l.f. CC Cream Foundation. This one I have used 10 times, so it is rolling out. My W7, it's Glow Prime, very, very glowy and also tinted primer. This one I think has been in, this is the 3rd month, but this one I kept around because I wanted to keep using it, and I wanted to be like, no, I'm going to get my use out of this. I'm going to get my 10 uses. So I only need to use it 2 more times this month. I actually used it 3 more times. I think it's kind of bittersweet because now's the time that I kind of want to use this. I was using it during the winter months, and that was the wrong thing to do, but I've got my 10 uses out of it. I think I might roll it back in when we're in the thick of summer, or just at the beginning of summer, because it is tinted, so I think I'll have more of a tan then. It will make a little bit more sense because I've been putting it on and it just doesn't really match my skin tone. So I put it on, and then I have to put like some very, very pale foundation on to get rid of it, which is silly. So I'm going to bring this back in come summertime if I can remember. But yeah, I've actually really enjoyed it. It just took me a little bit of time to figure out what to do with it. I've also used my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer 10 times. I actually have used this 21 times this month because it's the only concealer I've been using. So yeah, this one's rolling out. I like this concealer. It was just to get some use out of it, which I have done. And this collection Filter Finish Glow Complexion Boosting thing. I mean, it's got such a long name. It is the Charlotte Tilbury dupe, or the e.l.f. dupe at this point as well. And this one I've used a total of 10 times. I had it in the project last month, and I had used it 7 times last month. I was only supposed to use it 3 times this month, but I used it 4. It's not my favorite product in the world, but I'll keep it. I'm not at the point where I want to declutter it, but it's not the same as Charlotte Tilbury. It actually made me miss Charlotte Tilbury when I was using that. So I did roll in some brow products a couple months ago, and now this, if I kept these in, it would be a third month keeping them in. I don't really do that much with my eyebrows, and I know a lot of people will be like, well, you really should, they don't look great. That's fine, but for me personally, I just don't want to. And I wanted to roll these in to get some use out of them, otherwise they're just sitting in my collection. So this is a CBD it's a CBD brow gel from Primark. This one I had in the project last time, and I was supposed to use it only 2 more times this month, but I did not use it at all. And then this is a little mini ABH brow pencil, and I used it 6 times last month, so I needed 4 more uses. I used it once, but I'm going to be rolling these back out. I know, there's no point me rolling this into a project or a shop my stash. I'm either going to keep them or I'm going to declutter them. I'll just figure it out at another time. I don't feel the need to declutter them because I don't have many of them, so they're there if I need them. I think that's what that product is. It's not a product that I'm going out and buying. So I'm quite happy just to leave it as that, and it's just not exciting for me to use and keep track of. Alright, and the last item that I'm going to be rolling out is this Bella Pierre blush. This is a powder blush. Now, I really like this when it's on my cheeks, and it is a beautiful mauve color. It's the shade Amaretto, and it is very beautiful, and I don't have a lot of mauve shades anymore because I did declutter quite a few of them. It's not my preference, but when it's on my cheeks, it's very beautiful. However, I have not used it once this month. So I had it rolled in the last month. I used it 3 times last month, supposed to use it 7 times this month. I did not get around to using this once, and I thought about it many, many times. I grabbed it and I thought, oh, can I really be bothered? I just find it a faff. I do not want to have a powder blush. It's the only powder blush that I have in my collection. I hope I don't get any more. I didn't buy this. It came in a beauty box, and so it's just a faff. I think that's the problem with this product. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just know it's not the type of product that I want to be using. So I'm not at the point that I'm going to declutter this yet, but potentially it will be in a future declutter, because it's just not an item that I enjoy using, and I just don't want to keep items around that I don't enjoy. Alright, so let's move on to all the items that I'm keeping in. I don't feel like I've done that great this month, to be honest. I think because I've been working on my project pans, and I've been using a lot of other items, and I've also just not been doing that much makeup. I mean, if I use that concealer 21 times, that means I've only done my makeup 21 times, and March was a longer month, but that still misses quite a lot of days in the month. And, you know, I think it's true. I think when I'm not in the mood to wear makeup, I'm not wearing makeup. I'm not like forcing myself right now. So I don't know, I'm in a little bit of a funk about it. But hopefully this next month, even though April is shorter, I'll do a better push at working through some of these. But anyway, I pulled in the Phase Zero blush. This is Arabian Nights. It is a cream blush. And this one I have used... This one I've only used twice, so I'm going to be keeping it in. Likelihood for me using it 8 more times this month is a little bit slim, because I did roll in a cream blush in one of my project pans that I want to finish that is quite similar to this. Not exactly, it's a little bit more vibrant than this is. This is still very beautiful. I still really like it, but it might be competing with that one, which I'm obviously trying to pan. But anyway, I need 8 more uses on this one. My Glowish, I really enjoyed it. I actually have it on today. This one I've used 4 times. I just had so many blush, you know, to work on this month, so I think this is just a case of me running out of time. But I really love this. I need to use it 6 more times. Then I've got my e.l.f. Putty Primer. This one I have used 7 times. I've just been trying to finish a primer in my project pan, but this one I've almost hit the bottom of it, because I've almost hit a pan, even though this is sort of a plastic container. I've almost hit the bottom. I can actually see quite clearly in the light that I have, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I really do like this, but yeah, I haven't used it 10 times, so I'm going to be keeping it in, and I also do enjoy using it as a primer. This one has scared me quite a bit. This is the Ofra Duo Compact in the shade Unit. I did say that I was a little bit worried about this one being too deep, and I do think it's too deep. I actually used the bronzer. How many times did I use the bronzer? Okay, I only used one of these twice. So I've used the compact twice, I've used the blush once, the bronzer once. When I used the bronzer, it was very, very dark. I think I used it in a Get Ready With Me, and it just went really bad quite quickly. So I'm a little bit hesitant to even wear this, to be honest, but I'm gonna keep it another month, see if I want to grab it. If I don't want to grab it, it's potentially just gonna be something that I have to declutter because it's the wrong shade for me. Okay, and then I have my Peachy Face palette from SheGlam, and this one I've used 5 times. I really love this palette. I really love this shade over here. Just need to use it 5 more times, but I don't mind because I do enjoy this product. Yeah, this one I've used 4 times. I actually haven't touched the cream, but I did touch these 2 highlighters as well. Really enjoy it, and this is sort of a cheek product that I would like to hit pan on. I think I could. Maybe this month I will, because I'm starting to see the waffling underneath, and I think they're pretty shallow, which you know, I kind of would expect from SheGlam because it's very, you know, inexpensive makeup, and if you want to call it that. And yeah, you know, I don't mind that, to be honest, because you get what you pay for. But if I can hit pan on that, that would be kind of exciting, so I'm not trying to. All right, I have 2 liners here. This is a creme gel liner from ColourPop. It is the shade Bay Breeze. This one I've used 4 times, so I need to use it 6 more times. It's a pretty, I'll just show you. It's a pretty peach color, and I have been putting it in my waterline a few times. I also did it as a liner 1 or 2 times in looks. It's nice. I do think that it doesn't perform as well as it used to, so if I can get more use out of it, that would be good, because I think it's not like it's going off or anything. I just think it's losing its pigment. So I don't know if that actually happens with the creme liners. Just let me know if that happens with yours. And then I had the Rodial. This is the Smoky Eye Pen. It's just a black eyeliner pen. This one I have used 3 times. So I need to use it 7 more times. I've got my Essence Fix and Last 18-Hour Fixing Spray. This one I have used 6 times, so I need to use it 4 more times. And then all the rest of the products in here are lip products. So big shock, because I always pull too many. So I'll start with my Gubby shade from Urban Decay. This one I have used 5 times, so I want to use it 5 more times. I really like it. It's a very light nude. Has a little bit of peachiness to it. It is really beautiful, but yeah, very clear, not very opaque at all. I think 5 more uses I can do. Then I've also got the Hocus Pocus 2 So Glossy lip gloss, which is the shade Way Young. This one I've used 4 times. I don't like this formula, and sadly, this tastes like plastic, the same way that the Ofra lip gloss did as well. So I'm going to try to get my use out of this and hit the 10 uses, but I'm not sure that I will keep these in my collection, because I really don't like the sticky tackiness of them, and I don't think they look good, to be at first. So there's not a lot going on that's really good in this item, but yeah, I'm not at the point where I am with the Ofra one that I want to declutter it yet. I'm just going to use a little bit more, figure out if I can find a way to enjoy it, and if I can't, then I can't. I've got my NARS lip pen here. This is the shade Famous Red. I actually have this on today. This one I have used only twice this month. I'm going to keep it in because I've been actually enjoying this red color, and I think I'm going to want to wear it a little bit more. It's more of like a vibrant red as opposed to like a vampy red that you would wear in the wintertime, at least in my mind. So it has a little bit of pinkness to it, which I do enjoy, and I think it's quite nice to have that pop of red. I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying the red look, so I'm going to keep this in, see if I can get more use out of it. I've got my LA Girl, which I've only used once. This one is in the shade Surge. It's the Pretty and Plump lipstick, and it is a very beautiful shade. I could have worn it today. To be honest, it would have probably gone with this look, because I do have a little bit of purple. It's like a purpley pink shade, but this one I'm going to keep in as well. I've just used it the once. I want to use it a little bit more, like push myself to use it a little bit more, because I think it's a really, really fun color, and it's not a color that I would want to declutter at any point, and it's really nice to wear. It's very wearable, it feels great, it's moisturizing, it's just not an everyday color, but I want to find some more times when I could wear it. I've got my e.l.f. liquid lipstick here. This is the Sheer Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade, what is this? Praline Petal. This one I have used twice. I do want to keep it in. It's potentially more of a wintry shade at this point, so I don't know how much more I'm going to get out of this during the spring moments that I'm enjoying right now. The sun is out and I'm really liking that, so I don't know if I'm going to use this that much in the next month, but I'm going to keep it in and not ready to roll it out. And then I forgot to talk about this. So this is the Clarins Duo. This is not a lipstick, but it does have a lip liner in it. It's just got a bunch of eyeliners. It's the, what is this called? 4-color all-in-one pen, eyes and lips. It is so gimmicky, but I have it, and I rolled it in, and I had it in last month. I used it twice last month. Have I used it at all this month? No, I haven't. And actually, I'm going to keep this in because it does have this color over here, which is a liner shade, and it's like a green, a teal green, and I haven't used it yet, and I think if I'm going to get any use out of this, it's going to be these more fun shades. It also has a purple liner as well. But it's quite a dark purple, but there are some liner colors in here that I don't normally go for. So they've got those two, they've got a black, and then they've got the pink lip liner, which I honestly am not going to use because it kind of looked a little bit bad the last time I looked at it, but it's quite a vibrant pink. I don't know. I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to see. This one normally I would roll out. It's been 2 months. I didn't use it at all this month, but I kind of forgot about it, and I want to see if I can definitely use this shade a little bit more. I think it might be fun. So this one I'll keep around just for that purpose. Otherwise I might have to end up decluttering it altogether. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned because I will be posting my Shop My Stash, where you'll see which products I roll into this project to use 10 times or more, and I'll also be choosing more eyeshadow palettes, because even though I didn't roll any eyeshadow palettes out today, I know that the two, the Primark one and the Juvia's Place one, I will be able to hit my uses in the next week or two, so I would like to roll in at least 1, maybe 2 eyeshadow palettes, especially because it's spring. I want to have some more spring colors, you know, in my sort of everyday drawer that I use to do my makeup. So I want to have a few more choices around, and I do like rotating it. So I hope you come back and watch that video. It should be posted sometime later this week, and I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.